Hi guys, doing an unboxing today. So I've got these two things that were so kindly given to me by the lovely folks at Music at Noosa to try out and do a video of. I've got the Marshall Origin 20 and Marshall Origin 50 heads. So let's unbox them and see how we go. So, heavy. Let's start off with the Origin 20. So I think the idea behind it is I want to see is there much of a difference in tone between a 20 watt and a 50 watt head, or did it kind of sound the same and it's just the volume? So I just wanted to kind of check that out and see out of the two which one I would probably like more. Oh Jesus. All right. I've got to give these back, so, or at least one of them back. So I'm going to unpack it nicely. So yeah, Music at Noosa, Tim and Mel and Jeff and the guys there and Max. Big thank you to all you guys for this, for letting me have a bit of a play with them. Check, there's links below. Awesome shop, awesome guys. I teach guitar there too, so great shop. And there's some other really good guitar teachers and other great things there. So if you ever in a Noosa area, why not pop into Music at Noosa? All right. So here we have the Origin 20 head, which looks suchly. I gotta say, I really like the old school look. That sort of this and the gold trim and the smaller Marshall logo. I'm a bit of a sucker for that. So that's the Origin 20. Yeah, let's have a look what else is in the box. So we have a big box. This is the switcher. Well, we may not even need that for the time being. So I think that's the pedal to switch. You can turn the boost part of it on. And I think you can, is the other thing the effects loop? I think one switch is to turn the effects loop on and one switch is to turn the boost on. But we don't need this for the time being because we don't need to foot switch that. So, and move on to the 50. All right, Origin 50 box looks suchly. Let's open it up. All right, now, so technically they're basically exactly the same, except for one's 20 watts, one's 50 watts. But let's have a look. Oh, it's a bit heavier and a little bit bigger, I think. And that's the 50 watts. So looks the same. I think the knobs are the same. All right. So, Origin 20 and Origin 50 heads. Same knobs, same everything. So you've got presence and master. You've got treble, mid, bass, tilt and gain. Same on that. One input. You've got the power output, as in the it's kind of like an attenuator. You've got high, medium, and low power on both, and the on and off switch. And I think both have Both have foot switches, effects loop, DI out. It's interesting, and 8 or 16 ohm speaker outs. So let's plug them in and give them a try. Back shortly. And we're back. So I've plugged the Origin 20 in now. So it's going into, you can't see it, but behind it is the two notes Torpedo Live with my Rev 4x12 open back IR. I haven't actually even tried it yet, so I just turned it on. All the dials are still set to 0. Let's give it a go. It works. Okay, so with this you've got the gain, and you can pull the gain out to get a boost. You've got the tilt as well, which I believe the idea behind it is with a lot of the old Marshall amps, Plexi amps and stuff like that had a treble and a bass input, so they had multiple inputs. And what a lot of people used to do is they used to jump a lead and so you can use both, so you get a combination of the two sounds. And the tilt, I think, does that. So you can switch between a trebly and a bassier sound. So you can find a spot between the two. So I guess one way... and that's the other way. Let's have a look. So much brighter. So you've got the bassier channel. And you've got the treble sides, and then you can sort of find a medium between it, you know, sort of somewhere in the middle. It's really nice clean, actually. Like, it's not something that you kind of think of when you think of Marshall, but it's quite clean. And I do have the master cranked, so I'm somewhat lucky here that I'm going into the two notes Torpedo, which is an attenuator as well, and I can crank volumes quite high, and I can turn it up and down through, you know, here my my monitors at the studio. So I can crank the volume and get it sort of to break up nicely. But so I'd say with 20 watts, it's a pretty loud amp. But yeah. Nice and clean. So if I maybe now crank the gain a bit more. Fairly cranked. It's just a really nice sounding cranked clean amp. Then if you pull out the boost, and that's now on high output as well, so if I flick it down to medium, and now I can crank the master too. And I can even go to low. The volume drops quite drastically, so I can pretty much crank it. Let's just see how we go. sounds actually really cool. I really like this amp. I haven't tried the heads yet, but I've tried the combos, and I actually was really surprised how much I like them. Which is why I'm most probably going to keep one of those two heads, and I'm just picking which one actually, and I get to make a video out of, or you get to watch me pick which one I want to keep. Let's go back to, okay, so without the master, I mean without the boost, with the master crank, gain cranked. Gets pretty bright when you turn a tilt up. Yeah, but I mean the clean before was beautiful. So if we're going back to high. Really nice, clean, nice. It's not a super high gain amp, not like a lot of other Marshalls, but I like it. It's a nice sounding amp. So let's try out the 50 and see if it sounds any different. All right, back. Same scenario. Plugged into the 2 notes torpedo with the Rev 4x12 open back IR. Let's have a listen. Let's just see. So just turn it on. Let's do roughly the same settings as I just had before. It is a lot louder. Crank the gain a bit. It's starting to push the input on this a little bit, so I might go down to medium just for now. Does maybe sound a little bit ever so slightly different. sounds really good. Let's try, okay, let's turn it down a little bit here and go to high and crank it. There's a lot of volume there. A lot of volume there. That's one loud amp. It does maybe sound a little bit different, actually. I mean, it could just be perceived because of volume, but let's turn this up a little bit here again. I'm just turning the input gain on my mixer here up and down, just so I don't, you know, crank it too much for Logic. How about let's try the same thing. Try the same thing with humbuckers. Okay, Carvin CT6 or Kiesler as they're called nowadays. Let's try that. Input socket is a bit dodgy. Dodgy input socket. Sounds great though. I think it sounds really good. I'm a fan. Hang on, let's get rid of this just because it's. I need to get input socket fixed. Let's quickly go through a couple of sounds of that and then go back to that and then call it a night. And I like them. I do. I think they're good amps. I mean, they're made in where they're made. Made in Vietnam. There you go. They're made in Vietnam, so you know it's not UK made Marshall, but I don't know. They look good. They sound good. Not sure which one I prefer, but let's just have another quick listen. That sounded great. Okay, I like that. Now let's quickly plug the 20 in again. So back in a 20. Here we are. I gotta say, I probably like the 50 better. Just think it's a fuller sound. I mean, it could, like I said, it could just be a volume thing. But yeah, I mean, they both sound great. And I think in a live environment, if you're playing, like in a cover band or sort of smaller gigs, the 20 is probably way loud enough. The 50 is probably a little bit overkill. If you just want a clean amp with lots of headroom, that's probably great. But if you want, if you want to be able to drive it a bit and have it sort of break up nicely, the 20 I think is probably more than enough for sort of smaller gigs, or even for bigger gigs if you have, good monitoring, or you're using in-ears or something like that, or like what I do, and you use a torpedo, or any kind of IR thing, where you don't have any volume issues. In saying that, the 50 just, I don't know, just sounds fuller to me. I think, even though it's more expensive, I'm going to go for the 50, which will live there in future. So, yeah, I think so. I think that for me, the 50, so it's just very quickly, one more time, couple of chords with each one, and then that's it. So, see how we go. Hey. And I know you're meant to let him warm up longer and stuff like that. This is just quickly to do it. And once or twice one heard it. Nice, clean. I think it's fuller. It's a bit fuller, richer. It has a nicer tone to me. I think the 20 is a little bit more brittle, a bit brighter. And this is even on a treblier setting too. So if you go bassier. I just like the sound. Let's get a bit more. like it. It's loud. It can get very loud. Cool, that'll do. I like the 50, but they're both great amps. So if you live in the Sunshine Coast area and you want to purchase one, why not come down to Music at Noosa, where most likely the 20 will be for sale as of very shortly. Big thank you once again to the awesome guys at Music at Noosa, Tim, Susie, Max, Jeff and Mel. Thank you so much for letting me borrow these and have a bit of a shootout. So I think they do sound a little bit different. Not just different wattage, but they do sound a little bit different. I know there's volume perception because this is so much louder. And then because then I switch it down to lower, where the sound is attenuated and stuff, it changes the sound a bit. But all up, it just sounds fuller to me and has a richer sound to me, the 50. I think they're great looking amps. I think they sound really good. My first Marshall, I've never had a Marshall before. I tried one of the combos at Music at Noosa and I really liked it. And I thought for my studio setup with Torpedo Live, the head is the better option. So I actually ordered the 20, but Tim ordered both in. And I think I'm going to go for the 50 now. So once again, check out Music at Noosa. Links to their website below. I'll probably put it up down here somewhere as well. They do have Reverb shops. They put stuff from Gumtree if you're in Australia as well. There's some guitars of mine that are for sale there. Some pedals of mine that are for sale there. But some awesome gear. They've got a really good range of secondhand vintage guitars. Some killer. Like a 60s 335, which is just absolutely beautiful. Which if I had the money, I would buy straight away. But unfortunately, I don't. But so check out all the links. I'll put a whole bunch of links below. Awesome shop, awesome guys, and thank you so much. And yeah, Marshall Origin 20 and 50 heads. That's it for me. Thank you. Bye bye.